Jeld-Wen French doors are junk. I bought this one at Lowe's and had it installed. After our first rain, it leaked and ruined my floor. In this video, I'm going to show you where it leaked, some of the manufacturing flaws that led it to leak, and how I'm going to go about fixing this thing without tearing out the entire frame and replacing it here. On the first big rain we've had since this was installed, this door leaked in two different places. It leaked in from the window, underneath, where the rain collected, and it leaked in three spots here where you can see the screws at. This door also leaked on the door sweep here, closer to the center. It ruined the floor and I had to rip it out to get everything dried out. To complete this job, we're going to need a few tools. We're going to remove the door window trim as well as the door sweep. Now I've already completed this on the left door. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do it on the right hand door. What we'll need to get started is just a Phillips head screwdriver. I'm going to use a drill here, a caulk gun. I'm using some silicone. We've also got some sort of scraper tool. I've got a straight blade, a razor blade there to cut out some stuff. And then I'm also going to replace the door sweep, so I went ahead and purchased a new door sweep as well. What we're going to do to mitigate this problem is go ahead and take this off and put a new seal around where the window meets the frame at. Once all the screws are out, the frame should pop off pretty easily. Here you can see where the screws that I just took out meet the outside part of the frame. They sandwich this glass in together and it kind of acts as a seal on its own there. Now what's interesting is once you have your door trim off, you can get a look around here and you can see where this door, this window actually meets up to the outer trim. So when they manufactured this door, they were supposed to put some kind of sealant around all the way around the outside here. And on the door to my right here, they didn't do a very good job with that. When I popped the door trim off, the window almost fell out. So this one's in a little bit better, and it wasn't the one that was really leaking on me. It was the other door, and I went ahead and fixed that yesterday. But for sake of the video, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to fix this one here. Now this will actually kind of pop out, and you can see it's kind of wiggling a little bit there, and that's what the problem was. We got a hose out yesterday, and we're kind of spraying around looking for the leak, and it was just coming in like a sieve right around here. That water would pool at the bottom here and then just leak inside. So not a very good manufactured door. Very disappointed with the design. Not good at all. With just a few pushes from the outside, you can see that the glass has already kind of broke free from that sealant. Again, I don't think this is a very good manufactured door. I think it should have been a lot harder than just a couple of pushes to get this thing off of here. But you can see how I went ahead and fixed this. As I pulled this glass, and it just comes right out. Now what I'm going to do is move this outside. We'll put it on a pair of sawhorses. I'm going to clean up the outer trim and lay a bead of silicone all the way around and then pop this glass back in, and that'll make a nice waterproof, watertight seal. All right, now that the glass is out, I'm going to take the door off the hinges here so I can move it outside. All right, with the door successfully removed, what we're going to do is bead a silicone all the way around this edge, right where the glass sits. What that'll do is create a watertight seal. Won't have to worry about this thing leaking anymore from where the glass meets the outside at. We're also going to remove the door sweep and just put a newer, maybe thicker door sweep on there as well to prevent any water leakage from underneath the door. Now before I get too far in here, I'm going to go ahead and take my scraper tool and just try to clean up the outside of the glass a little bit too. I was able to get off about this much from the window. Now what you'll notice, and again I go back to the manufacturing flaws here of Jeld-Wen, very disappointed with their product so far, is when you look at where the silicone kind of sticks at, it's real spotty. You know, they'll have a thick section over here and then barely anything right here. The top very similar. There's a kind of thick section from here to here, but very spotty right here. Same thing with over here. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Very, very disappointed. When you examine the outer door frame, it looks very similar to what the glass did. Very spotty craftsmanship in terms of where they put the caulk down at, the silicone sealant. Very disappointing. This area right here doesn't actually have any at all. With that, I'm going to lay a nice big thick bead of caulk or clear silicone all the way around. Just want to make sure that we kind of waterproof, water tighten this thing up here. You really only have to worry about the outside. This here is just kind of floating. The only spot you need to worry about is the outside here. With the silicone in place, you want to go ahead and get the window back into the trim before it sets up. Now, as we mentioned before, there are some guide pins around here, so it makes sitting the door in by yourself, I would say, fairly straightforward. It could be considered a two-person job, but I'm going to go ahead and try it myself here. Now what you'll see is that silicone kind of pushes out, and that's at least what I want to see. I can go back and clean that up later, no problem. I just want to make sure that I've got a nice watertight bead all the way around. The other thing that we'll see is that when we go to tighten these the inside frame and these screws again, that again kind of sandwiches this glass in there, so it'll kind of pull that caulk or that silicone out even a little bit more. So we'll look at that now. So again, we'll just sit this in just like it came out. Again, it's got some kind of guide holes on there. It's pretty straightforward. Now the other interesting thing was that this door was also leaking at the center where the two French doors meet. It wasn't this door exactly, it was the other door, but it was puddling there as well. Now what I found interesting when I was researching out door sweeps is that every instructional video I could come across basically said that you need to silicone this thing to the door, screw it to the door, somehow adhere it to the door. What was interesting when I was messing with this other door is this one just sits right on there. It's got the tracks, it wasn't actually sealed or really anything to this door at all. So again, very disappointed with that. Didn't look like a lot of thought went into this, and maybe some cost-cutting measures. Now to fix this, and you can see this one probably maybe didn't need to be replaced, but there were some kind of spots on it that were, I don't know, a little bowed out, broken. So I was replacing the other one anyway, so I figured I would just do this one as well. For this one, it's the exact same style. I didn't get the U-shaped style. It's the exact same style as what was original to manufacturer. I just have to cut it down to fit. So I'm just going to use this as a template, use this to cut to fit. And then I am going to take some silicone and get this thing, make sure it's glued up nice and good. This one here is kind of, I don't even know what you would call it, like drywall almost. If you score the inside of it, you ought to be able to kind of pop it just like that, and it makes that cut real easy. The utility knife works really easily if you just push it in, kind of up under there, and then you're able to kind of run it out. So with this cut to fit now, what I'll do is just go ahead and run a bead of silicone all the way under it. I'm going to slide it into place, and then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and get just kind of a tapping block and a hammer, and we'll just make sure that it kind of seals up nice. All right, with those two modifications, we should be good to go ahead and put this door back in its place, put the hinges back on, and we'll go ahead and do a water test at some point. So now you can see how much better this door sweep comes out than the original one here. So when this rain comes down, it'll hit onto this pan, and that's tilted forward, so it should just drain right off. Now if we take a look at this one here too, you can see the same thing. It's tilted much better. So I think this is another spot where it was leaking. It's coming in here, so I went ahead and replaced this one as well. You can see it looks a lot better.